I've helped collectors buy and sell millions in rare collectibles. The sale prices in this video are all backed by real data from top auction houses like Heritage. I know what makes coins and currency valuable, and today I'll break it down for you. Did you know the US still makes $2 bills today? That's right, guys. The United States prints $2 bills every single year in large quantities. In fact, you can go to your local bank and pick up $2 bills today. And if you want new ones, just ask to see if they can order some for you. Pretty mind-blowing, right? Well, most people have no idea that $2 bills are still being printed to this day. That's why I carry around $2 bills and I hand them out as tips or pay with them at the store. And almost every time, people are blown away thinking they have something very rare and valuable. The reality is, most $2 bills are only worth $2. A lot of the time, it's a very small detail that can mean the difference of lots and lots of money for your $2 bill. Let's take this 2009 $2 bill for example that sold for $1,560. So one thing I want to point out on your $2 bill is going to be the front plate position, okay? So in the United States, there are only two locations in the whole US which print paper money. You've got the Fort Worth, Texas facility and the Washington, D.C. facility. I've been fortunate enough to have a ground floor tour of the Washington, D.C. facility to see exactly how paper money is produced. So if you look at the bottom right plate position on this bill, you're going to see before the letter and number, there's going to be a very small FW. The FW stands for Fort Worth, Texas, where this bill is made. If your banknote does not have FW anywhere on it, that means your $2 bill was printed at the Washington, D.C. printing facility. Now that can matter in certain situations, but the reason why this $2 bill sold for $1,560 is going to come down to the condition. Every fold, every pinhole, stain, tear on your bill will dramatically decrease its value. This one got the perfect grade of 70 by PMG, which is why it sold for $1,560. Same thing here. This one sold for $2,400. And if you paid close enough attention, the serial number of this bill is only one digit away. So what that tells me is that someone got a pack of these $2 bills, submitted them to PMG, and they got a lot of 70s on these bills, which makes them very, very valuable. You can see the serial number here ends in 899 and the previous note ends with 898. So they are consecutive. But once again, this highly graded note at a 70 sold for $2,400. $1,860 for this 1976 $2 bill. All right, so a few things going on with this bill. First of all, looking at the plate positions on the front of the bill, you do not see FW anywhere. What does that mean? That means this bill was produced at the Washington, D.C. facility. Next, I want you to look at the end of the serial number. You're going to see a star. So star notes are pretty cool. What it means is that this is a replacement note or a star note. Replacement notes are produced during a print run to make sure that the full print run is complete and there are no errors that get out. During the printing process, obviously it's a very mechanical process that these banknotes go through, and mistakes can happen, errors can occur that requires the US BEP to throw paper money away and shred it. Now, instead of making new paper money, they replace those bills with star notes like this one. Star notes can be very rare and very valuable depending on how many were produced. If there was a run of $2 bills that had a lot of mistakes, that means there's going to be a lot of star notes. It's a simple supply and demand thing. If there was a print run that did not have many mistakes at all and there's a small handful of star notes, that means your star note could be rare. Now, if you want to know how much your star note is worth, there's a website we'll show you called My Star Note Lookup. This is not sponsored. We get no kickbacks whatsoever by sending you there, but essentially it shows you the rarity of your star note, how many were printed, and it could mean you have a rare note. But the star note in combination with the high grade of a 69 allowed this note to sell for $1,860. $2,400 for this $2 bill. Now, holy smokes, look at the condition of this bill. It is completely beat up. You can see it went through a lot of love, as one might say. Now, if you haven't noticed already, the serial number on this $2 bill is very rare and unique. It is a solid number 7 serial number. Now, what likely happened here is that this was a collector's piece for their pocket. Maybe it's something they would say, hey, look at my lucky number 7 $2 bill that I have. They'd take it around with them, go gambling with it, show it to their friends, or this one just went out into circulation for a long time until someone noticed it and said, hey, this $2 bill is now mine. I'm going to keep it in my collection. And eventually it found its way onto Heritage Auctions and it sold for $2,400. Now I will tell you this right now, guys. Condition is so important when it comes to bills like this. Please keep your bills safe. Do not fold them. Keep them very flat. Don't tear them. Don't do anything bad to the bill because every grade difference matters when it comes to the value. If this bill was much more highly graded, it would have sold for a lot more money than $2,400. But you live and you learn. All right, so this is a genuine, legitimate United States $2 bill legal tender note. I've actually read stories about people paying at a grocery store with a bill like this, which is 100% legal, by the way. Unfortunately, some people think they're fake, and there has been countless stories of people calling the cops on individuals that are paying with old paper money like this. Now, this is a 1928 $2 bill, legal tender note. It's also a star note. You can see the condition is a fine 12, so a very low grade for this bill. Another important fact is that 1928 was the first year of issue for small size paper money. If you're unaware, before 1928, we had what we call large size paper money, which is much larger and cannot fit into a normal size wallet. Large size is actually some of my favorite paper money, but unfortunately, everyone on YouTube doesn't care as much about large size bills. But if you want to learn more about large size paper money, leave me a comment below so I can know to make a video on large size. But all you got to know here, guys, is that you want to be looking for a few things. First of all, look for a legal tender note. Second of all, you want to be finding a 1928 E. The E is super important here. And then lastly, you need to have a star note. So 1928 $2 bill star note. It's got to be the series of 1928. And if your bill is in this condition or better, you're in for a nice treat because this fine 12 sold for $2,880. All right, we're gonna start on the back of the bill here. This one sold for $3,120. It's a 2003 $2 bill, and I want to show you the back plate number. You know, we talked about the front plate number. Now let's talk about the back plate number and its position. So that number on the back essentially is an internal number that tells a US BEP employee where this specific bill is located on a printing plate. So it's a large plate with a bunch of different notes on it, and each plate position is a different number. So they can say exactly what run and what plate this note came from. So for us, it means absolutely nothing, but the size of that plate position can matter in certain situations. Flipping it over to the front, look at the front plate number. You will see the FW before the plate position, so we know this bill is made at the Fort Worth, Texas facility. Now, in certain situations, the front plate number size and the back plate number size is going to mean that you have a mule note. So the two just were not supposed to go together. Fortunately, that's not the case in this situation, but it is important to know in the future if you're looking for mule notes, typically the sizes will be different, but the main reason why this one sold for $3,120 is because of the serial number. This is what we call a descending ladder serial number. So the serial number goes from 9 all the way to 2 in descending order. You can also have an ascending ladder, which goes up, so it goes from 2 to 9 in consecutive order. Look out for those rare serial numbers because this one's over $3,120. All right, this is pretty cool. So 1953, once again, we know this is a legal tender note. It's 100% legitimate. You could spend it, you can bring it to your bank, any of that stuff. This one got graded by PMG at a very fine 30. It is a star note once again. But what's really cool about this unique note that sold for $9,000 is the fact that it is a serial number 2. So this is the second bill that was produced in the star note run. Highly collectible, highly sought after, especially if you're able to get a serial number 1. Guys, if you come across any rare bills, please take them to someone trustworthy because you don't want to get scammed or ripped off. We have a free coin and currency ebook down below that's going to give you the basics and a bit more advanced techniques on grading, currency values, currency handling. You don't want to miss that, guys. We hope you enjoyed the video and we will see you in the next one.